Sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow, sip slow.
Frank Lee, homie.
I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Only helping you grow. Tell you things that you need to hear, not only things you wanna know. Keeping you up on your current events, I swear the world's so cold. Talking about marriage and sports too. Man, you gotta catch the show. You better believe me. Got Allen T. Weezy, J. Marson, that JT, make it look easy. Whenever they speaking about any topic, if I spoke about it, I was really about it. Ain't no front, I was real about it. In my white cup, it got Hen inside it. It's a message for everybody. Now I'm only sipping this slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping this slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow.
Welcome to the Sip Slow Podcast. It's your boy, Mr. Money Don't Sleep. The T Weezy Can't Rest.
It's your boy JT.
What's up, fellas? Ain't nothing but love. It's your boy J Dub.
like that. Damn, T, what's that? What T on something heavy?
All right. I like that.
Yes, sir. The boy Al back in the building.
Oh man, LG back, man. What it do, man? What y'all boys sipping on today? It's a lovely Sunday.
I'm on a little orange juice, man. A little bright and early.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Got a little vodka and cranberry.
Ooh.
Splash a little ginger beer in there.
Hey, what they call that, the mule?
Yeah, I just kind of altered it a little bit. I had a little bit left over from last night, so I said, let me finish it off.
All right, yeah. I'm on that Merlot too, sipping slow.
Already, man. I'm sipping on some of this. It's a wine margarita that HEB sell. It's like 13.9 volume alcohol. So that's what we sipping on.
Man, it got a little hit to it, huh?
Yeah, it got a little hit to it. Yeah, no doubt, man. So how y'all week been?
Been a good week, busy.
A lot of work?
Yeah, they've been working us, man. Getting ready for the summer stuff and all this shit, and say they're ready to go back to 100%. So, how they go?
Did your little man have that game Friday?
Man, they had it, but they canceled because a lot of people stepped back. They didn't want the kids to go out there while it was raining and get wet and all that. So it was kind of a good thing because I was a little bit tired too.
Okay.
So you wasn't tripping at all?
No, I wasn't tripping at all, man. At first I wanted to, but then it got late. I was like, shit, I could kick back and just chill.
Week been pretty busy, man, this past week. It went by fast. And so definitely was glad to get to the weekend. Ain't have a whole lot planned. Did do a little garage sale yesterday. Made a little change unexpectedly, and that's about it, man. Slow motion other than that.
Man, my week, I guess everybody's week was busy this week, man. Like Jay said, work, man. They made me actually work for my money this week, man. I don't like working for my money, man.
Oh, that's why we ain't hear from you.
Yeah, they made me earn my money too, man. It wasn't just like I was working; I had to earn it, man. I felt You know, like this shit ain't right, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay, yeah.
But outside of that though, you know, the good thing is every day, like literally every day when I got off, there was something for me to do that was leisure. So it kind of made up for it. Like one day was one of my partner's birthday. We had to turn up. Another day, one of my homeboys closed on his home. And I think the last day was just like, hell, it's Friday. So I was like, okay, that's a reason to go turn up. So we did.
Damn.
So
Hey.
now, what time did you get home? That's the most important question.
Hey,
And
man,
then-
I actually did good, man. All 3 nights, with the exception of one, I got home at 11:30. The other ones, I got home around about 7:15.
That still ain't good, man. Shit, 11.
That was Friday, though. It was
She gotta
Friday.
give you Friday, huh? But
Yeah, 11:15. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Hey, you had to turn up for real, man. At least you walked in, or did you crawl in?
No. I was able to get home all right. I just had to sit in my car for about 20 minutes to gather myself, but I was good.
Ooh, J.R. Smith.
all right. All right,
I almost thought
brother.
about taking the shirt off like him, too.
No.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, all right. I ain't gonna put your business out there.
Oh, don't do it like that.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that, man. Man, I had a up and down week. What about Wednesday? Well, Tuesday, my wife came down with a little stomach bug, and I was like, "Oh, I hope you feel better." So this was Wednesday morning. She was like, I still, feel a little bad. And man, about a couple hours later, it kind of started hitting me. So, man, I had stomach pain, headache, diarrhea, nausea, stomach. So I didn't get over that till Friday. So yeah, but worked yesterday and put in 6 to 8 hours this week. So, we did make some money. So it's all good.
You say 6'8" as in 6'8"?
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. I don't feel bad then, man. Salute to you.
Man, a lot of these guys out here talking about they drive trucks, but I really do it. You feel me?
Sir.
But I got a question for y'all real quick before we start the show. So I was on the phone with my wife, and she was like, "Hey, the school called," and I was like, "Damn, I don't have to whip no ass today." You know what I mean? And so she clicked back over and say, "Well, the school called and said that some girl had pushed my son, and he kind of hurt his shoulder a little bit. And they want to call her and let her know what happened." So she said, "Well." She was like, I'm gonna tell him that, hey, you should have pushed her back." And I say, "Well, no, you can't be pushing on no girl, but I want to get y'all thoughts on that."
Man, that's simple for me, man. Yeah, I would really be upset that my son got hurt, but no, I can't condone him putting his hand on a woman because it starts, at an early age, and that can get worse. So I would tell him to defend himself in the sense of try to prevent someone from hurting him if he can, but tell him to hit her or push her. I can't do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let somebody else jump in.
We had one a couple years ago with Caden about that, and I just told him, as a girl, just walk away from her. Don't push her back, don't hit her, don't do nothing, because like you say, that should have started. It started early, then he get older, then he think he better do it. So yeah, I told him you don't really put your hands on a woman, no matter what it is, just walk away. So
all right,
I'd have to echo the same thing. I mean, as much as you don't want your son or your daughter, whatever the case may be, to be pushed and hurt or bullied, I guess if that's the case, try to just use whatever measures you can to tone it down. Tell somebody, Now if you tell and there ain't nobody doing nothing about it and continuing to happen, then they tell you, the parents, and after that, I mean, it's free range. Look, I ain't gonna give you the full heat check, but I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, leave
Right.
me alone. Don't do nothing like that. But hands on girls or girls hands on boys at this age is not good, because I mean, like you say, the young age is when mind is most fresh to
Right.
learn, and assuming that these things are right.
Right. They
Yeah,
start developing that mindset, and now it becomes part of their life, becomes a norm.
yeah. Cause
Right.
But
I told my boys I don't want no Ikes running around here, man.
but on the flip, what about um what about the girl feeling that she can touch on boys?
Same
Okay, now,
thing.
now that's the other side of it, though. I was gonna touch that next. Now I understand your wife's perspective because, for one, she's a lady, so they look at it a little different than we do because she see my son is hurt. That's all she see, and then that's a female that done it, and so her being a female, she probably wanted to touch the female, and I get that, but I don't think it's right either way. I don't think the female should be hitting on the boy should be hitting on the female. So the people that need to be checked in that situation are the parents. So it starts there. Get the parents straight and tell her to keep the daughter's hands to themselves, and we'd be all right.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you on that. And too, a lot of kids be playing, and they really probably don't mean to hurt nobody, but they just how the way they play, and
Right. Yeah, that's what I told her, nah, that ain't what we should be teaching. So I just want to get y'all perspective on that. Uh JT, man, gonna hit us with that free game.
All right. Keep in mind, one lie can kill 1,000 truths.
All
Wow,
right.
that's a mouthful there, man.
One
Yeah,
lie can kill 1,000 truths. I
Yeah, it's hard.
always heard if you lie, you'll steal. That means you're a sinner.
man.
Yeah.
Damn, you lie, you steal. If you steal, you'll kill, huh?
Yeah, something like that. Later on, you will.
Man.
Man,
That brings to the next point. I think you cheat too, huh?
Mm,
you never know what you do.
under pressure.
So, our first topic today is men cheat because they're horny. Women cheat because they're unhappy. Is this true? What you think about that, JT?
I think it's more to it, though. I think if a man do cheat, he probably ain't happy either. Happy, horny, whatever it is. Most of them cheat just to prove a point, to think they still have it, got it. It's just some in a man that, that like say it's that dog in them. So, you know, most
What
part of it's true. And for a woman, most women do it if unhappy, or maybe they want to get back at a person or get back at some situation. So it all go both ways with it. You know.
Yeah. I'd have to say the same. I mean, I don't think there's really to be horny. I mean, shoot. As a guy, I mean, I'm pretty sure we probably horny probably about 90-95% of our week.
Preach,
it
preach.
real talk?
has to be something that kind of captures your mental, some part of your mental space that causes you to want to go ahead and take things further than what it should be. So I mean, I don't know if it's any different than a woman. I mean, a woman, I think women sometimes think of sex a lot less than what guys do, but if they do something, it's just because they can. I mean, I mean, I'm not saying that it's right, but they usually can and will. They hold that power. We still got to work for it one way or another, whether it's home or if somebody's stepping out.
Man, I think the statement is, um, I think it's pretty right on because a lot of guys will stick their dick in anything. They don't have any type of
And it's
standards, man. Long as it got a split in the middle, boy, they gonna go in it. They don't care what it is. So I
They'll
think
be
a woman is a little more reserved, but at the same time, there's always exceptions to the rule. You have women that out here try to be like men. You know, they want different dicks, and well, I shouldn't be that vulgar, but they out here getting it. You know, they got a man for each day. They ain't showing no love. You know, they got a man's mentality. But I think most women, if they gonna cheat, it's probably because something is lacking in that relationship. Um, Maybe you're not showing them enough attention, respect, uh, being devoted to them, and a lot of times, somebody at the workplace that's talking to them every day can, you know, give them that attention that they might not be getting from the house. So
talk.
that's my thought on it. I saw a study where 20% of men say they cheat in a relationship compared to 13% women say they cheat in a relationship. So it's not. I think it's a perception that men are just out here cheating, but from those numbers, the gap not that big.
The reason it's not that big, T, because women they're slicker than men. Let's just call it what it is. A lot of us
Yeah.
as men don't like to admit it, but that's just what it is, man. I think, like you say, the numbers don't lie. Women cheat a lot more than we think. It's just we don't know because they don't get caught. But to answer
They
the
ain't
question,
gotta
yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. My bad. Nah, I'm just saying they ain't gotta go tell the girls and
There it is.
get all cocky and
Yeah.
we gonna let our nuts hang.
Which brings me to my point. The reason why I think men cheat, it has something to do with the horny. I mean, but then like Dub say, if you go with just the horny, then she will never be, what I'm saying? We'll never be faithful. We go with that. So I think it's more so they cheat to see if they still got it. You know what I'm saying? They cheat to try to go back and look good for some of the homies. Whereas women, I think they cheat because, like you said, T, there's something lacking at home. Or like JT said, something ain't right at the crib. So she's not feeling love. She's not getting the attention she needs or something like that. But again, when she cheats, nobody knows but her and that dude. That's it.
Right.
Dude cheat, he gonna tell the dude that he just met at Jack in the Box. He don't give a damn. He telling everybody.
For sure. But Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. So I look at it as, well, men just built different than women.
Yeah, but look at Jada. She did well. They had an entanglement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See
That's
that when
why
they
I
cheat,
said
they changed the whole dynamic of it. It's not cheating, it was an entanglement.
Entanglement.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck
I
out
thought
of
it was,
here.
What
a
kind of
big
shit is
world right
that?
They changed the name, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it sound better. Get out of here with that, man.
But what was crazy, women was feeling that though, what she was saying, like it was right. But if a man did it, you want to dog him. You want to slant him everywhere.
Here's my thing too, man. Women can watch all these TV shows and see all this stuff going on and be okay with watching it, and yet when something like that falls in their own lap, it's a big problem. I mean, so
Yeah.
you just don't want to keep. I mean, it's kind of give or take. You either okay with it, or you just be openly okay with it, or you just not. But if you're not, let the same type of thing. Like if you don't want to see a guy talking to another lady, or feeling that headspace, don't watch stuff like that. I'll be watching them Housewives all the time, man, and with my wife. I'm like, why you watch this stuff? These people here, somebody doing something with somebody, and they got all these entanglements or BS, what I call it.
Yeah.
You watch these. Well, the one funny one that threw me off was what's the show with Olivia Pope when she was whatever for the president? She was like the
What's
I
that?
can't think.
That was on ABC. That was that black lady, right?
that series of show, everybody was
Yeah.
all on her coattail. We like what she do, how she carry herself, how poised and how strong she is. But yeah, she's sleeping with the president and knowing he married. Now, how you gonna continue to support and like that? But then shoot, I mean, when it's in your lap, something like that, then it's a problem. That's what I said. So if you gonna it's almost like what you put in your body is what would come out. So don't fill your headspace with enjoying certain things, and then in reality, it's something completely different.
True. Hey, let me say this last part on that. So some women, we can't just put it like all women cheating, because you got some women that are really serious about sex. So it's more emotional for them, if you will. So they can't just quote unquote give their bodies to anybody. It's like sharing their body. So it's more mental for them. Us guys is more physical, like you say, T. I mean, this chick might not even be your style, might even be your type, but come down to it, it just go down. Whereas some women, she might think he's attractive and all that he got going, but she don't want to share herself with him because she's more mental. So it's like, it's not even about cheating on her spouse, her husband, or nothing like that. It's more about her body count. They look at that. They look at, I can't just give my body to anyone. So yeah, it's kind of throw when you think about it. But go ahead.
No, I just think women, I don't think they cheat as much as men. I don't.
I think they have a harder time of disengaging from that emotional or that connection there. We as men a lot of times could not give a damn. It was just what it was.
Right.
And women will sometimes they'll hold on to that, like, man, because I gave of myself.
Yeah.
There you go. I was trying to say that. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Well, like when I brought up Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, I brought it up because, see, you have to have, well, I would think all four of us up here have some type of temptation that we might see, and your wife might see that same thing, like, damn, what are you seeing that? But a man just different. We wired different. We see just the slightest thing about that and just want it. You feel me?
We're more physical.
Well, I got three I want though, man. I told him if I ever see them though, man. One is Halle Berry. One is Halle Berry.
I'm talking about something you see walking around that you can really go touch.
No,
not no dream.
I'm talking about that, but I'm on the point. If I'm gonna do something, it got to be worth it. It got to be something big. I ain't gonna just do it for just 00.
Right. That's my point. See, that's what separates men like us compared to some of these other guys. See, a lot of men are married, have kids, have family, have a situation where they can lose something, but they just don't give a damn.
Yeah.
They'll go out here and do whatever because that's just what they want to do at that point in time.
Yeah, go out there hit Miss Mary, man.
I mean, you be like, damn, he messing with her and he got this here. What's wrong with him? But that's just how they get down. And that's what separates good men from the bad men. It ain't just that good men are just, I mean, yes, we are special. I ain't gonna talk down on us. Let's get it.
Right.
I ain't gonna do that. We are special, but
they did say the reason why some women cheat, because some women would do something that the wife or spouse won't do. That's another thing, make them jump the board too.
Yeah, but all of that to me, and that's true. But to me, it all comes back to self-discipline. If you really care about your wife, your spouse, or girlfriend, whatever, you just not gonna disrespect her like that. And then on top of that, have her looking crazy out here because when you in certain, even if you in the city, it's a circle of people that know, man, ain't shit. He out here fucking all these hoes. And then who looking stupid? Yo, lady. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, you're right, bro.
I came to pause today. I don't know what y'all came to do.
Hey, T, to kind of add to your point, when you were talking about city and warden, some cats think because I'm in a city, I got an easier chance to cheat. Well, man, this city's smaller than what it appears. The world is small as hell, man. You never know who. So
That's true.
you think if you're in a bigger city, you can do it. You don't know who that person know, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So the ones out there think they getting away might want a second, think second about that, man.
That's true.
That's true. Well, I guess we didn't hit that enough, huh? Pause. Uh, you are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. We see on April 11th, Daunte Wright was killed by a Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis police officer. They pulled him over for his registration was out. Then they found out that he had some warrants, so they had him out trying to handcuff him. He broke away, got in the car, and the police officer claims that she thought she had the taser, but actually had a gun and shot him in the chest, and he died. So there's been a lot of rioting up in Minneapolis, and this is kind of what 5 or 10 miles from where the George Floyd trial is being conducted. So, what's y'all thoughts on this, Dub?
Man, for one, it's sad to hear, and condolences to the family. Another life lost when it didn't have to be. I think that and I mentioned earlier this week to you, T, that these officers are trained professional for what they do, and I mean, as most know, I think officers keep their pistol on one side and they keep the taser on the other side to identify and know which is which. And so for
Great
her
point.
to be able to say that she thought she had the taser and yet she had the pistol, and I know they feel different. Taser ain't as heavy as a pistol gonna be. So whether she was not thinking or she's not prepared in that situation, then she was wrong from the get go. And even still, for whatever reason, he decided to try to get away or get back in his car. Yeah, he's wrong for that. But if you look at it, just like what with George Floyd happened, the situation ended up the same. Another dead black man at the hands of the police, one way or the other. And I don't think it's right. I'm tired of it. And it's because it's gotten numb. That's the part about it. It's like what you expect now. Another one gonna happen at some point in time, and that's not how it's supposed to be, man.
I mean, JT.
I agree with what he said, man. It's a sore topic about it because it's not like it's happening more, but just I think too he just should have just instead of resisting again just stayed out the car, but it happened and it went down. Sometimes you got to follow orders too, but everybody different.
Man, it's another senseless killing, man. Again, condolences out to the family, man. I'm with you on that, Dub. There's no way in hell she thought she had a taser, man. I mean, at some point, we gotta. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's not laughable because there's nothing to laugh about. But in all seriousness, man, it's senseless. That's exactly what it is, man. So I know JT, you kind of touched on it. I kind of agree with that part too, far as him trying to, get away and leave. With all that's going on now, that's not a great move, but who's to say? You don't really know what you'll do in a situation. So I'm not to say that man shouldn't have done this, but I will say we got to think about what we're doing, man. We can't give them no more room to mess up. They're already killing us, so let's not give them, more rope to hang ourselves, if you will. So I just, it's not much I can say on it, but I guess he was leaving because he had warrants. He thought he can get away. At that point, you got cops right there. You're not going too far anyway. But again, Who knows what he was thinking? He was just trying to get away, but she still shouldn't have shot the man in cold blood. That's just what I feel about that.
I saw a video last week where it was a state trooper in New Mexico had pulled over a vehicle, and they claimed the guy was part of a drug cartel. So the officer went up on the passenger side of the vehicle. I mean, talked to the guy nicely, no problem. Asked the guy, "Hey, man." Now this was a white cop dealing with a white dude or Mexican guy. He say, "Hey, sir, can you get out?" The dude say, "All right." So once the officer it was a pickup. Once the officer got to the bed of the pickup, man, the driver got out with some type of AK-47 or something and just started unloading, killed the guy. So
Yeah.
you could pull this up. I'm sorry I didn't get the name, but you can look it up on pull it up on YouTube or something like that. So being a cop it's a tough job. Now you could say, well, that guy did everything correct. He didn't talk bad to the guy. He went up, did his job, asked the guy to get out. This guy come out and kill him right there. This man has a family. That's a senseless killing. So when we move into the Daunte Wright conversation, nobody want to talk about the brother shouldn't have resisted arrest. You had some warrants, man. You could have went to jail, let somebody bond you out, or set out a little bit, but at least you be living.
Yeah.
The time and the time and place we living in right now, you cannot be acting a fool with these cops. That's straight up. Whoever don't like it, oh well. I said what I said. You cannot act a fool with these cops. So
No,
when
you're
you
right.
do that, you put yourself in a bad situation. Just because the white folks, let me get my shit off. Just because the white folks can act a fool with the cops and get away with it, that's what they can do. We people of color cannot do that. And I mean, when I say color, I mean the Spanish also and blacks. We cannot get away with the same shit. It was a killing in Cyprus yesterday, where the police officer killed a guy in Cyprus just yesterday, Cyprus, Texas, at a goddamn gas station. He had some type of knife. Now they ain't have to kill the guy, but hey, that's just what's gonna happen when you do ignorant shit. So I brought up the guy pulling over the guy in New Mexico because Daunte Wright got in the car. The officers don't know what the fuck he got in that car. Now he could have blasted them cops. And then what? I'm not capping for the cops, but we have to have common sense out here. Come on.
Yeah, hey.
And then a nigga being Crump on the scene. I told y'all about that whole ass nigga last week.
Nobody else will take it.
I
I'll
came to
take
call today, man.
Man, you're absolutely right, and you almost wonder, like, because there's two sides, like what Al was talking about. I mean, we got to take responsibility of our actions, no matter how you look at it. If you got warrants or whatever, take care of them, pay them, get in a payment plan, go sit them out, whatever the case may be. It's just something you did, it's something you have to deal with. Don't put yourself in a situation where if you are pulled over, you're gonna do something drastic, and like chances are you have to just know you're gonna end up dead. You have to know that and hope for the best. Because I mean, ain't no point of being stupid. Everybody living their life, doing the best they can. You got too much to live for, too much to work for. You got family that love you, no matter what you're doing or your circumstances are. You got family and people that love you, man. That's always an opportunity to change and get things right. But yeah, it's no hiding the fact that he, what's his name, Daunte, was wrong for trying to escape. That's not even the case. My point was just that an officer does know professionally trained, he professionally trained, left side for right side.
Yeah, my wife was telling me that she, went through the police training that you put your taser on your less dominant side. So your gun goes on your dominant hand. You feel me? I say, hey, you don't know everything. This might not what they do up there in Minnesota. You feel me?
Nah, I agree with
So
your wife, homie. I agree with your wife, man. They know what the hell
yeah.
they doing, bro.
So I saw it's a cop made a video. It was on Facebook where he was saying the same thing. He was in his uniform. He put his shit on, and he was like, "Hey, this is how it goes." So I'm not. The lady been an officer for many years. I'm not saying that she was right by shooting him. I'm just presenting another side of the story. I mean, she should have known what she had. But like I said, he could have had a gun in that car too. We just don't know. But it's just a sad situation that I think could have been avoided probably by both parties, by
Yeah.
Daunte and by the police officer.
Yeah.
And
That's the
now
best way to put it.
they charged her with second degree manslaughter. Do y'all think that's an adequate charge, or
I
she
think
should have
so
had
because
murder?
I think.
Go ahead, Al.
Well, I'm gonna say. Well, normally I would say it's the wrong charge and it should be murder because she should know the difference, as your wife explained, as the other cop you just spoke on. They know what they're doing, so they've trained. They know the less dominant hand, all that jazz. So with that said, I normally would say murder. The only reason I would give her just a small chance is because it's a spare of the moment type deal. In a spare of the moment, sometimes you make some of the craziest, decisions ever. Some things that you've done in life right now at the spare of the moment, you look back on, you're like, damn, what was I thinking? So it's a chance she
Right.
could have made a mistake. So just that small chance, I think manslaughter is the better charge rather than murder.
Yeah, it sounded like she was doing all the proper things, alerting taser. She did it more than once. Again, I'm not saying that this is right, but it looked like she was going through the proper steps of, I guess, what you're supposed to do before you fire. But I think manslaughter is going to probably be the best for this situation and not murder, because Daunte did provoke all of this. No matter how you look at it, he provoked it all, and he was a little dude too. So that's why I was like, man, why would you even try? Because the dude that was handling the cop that was handling him initially was a big boy. So I'm surprised he even got free from him. But I don't think he should get murder, and I'm surprised she even charged this soon.
But
Well,
where you gonna go?
Who?
that's what I was saying. He's not going nowhere.
Where you going? Let me give y'all some fun facts.
I had to go lock his phone.
Man, don't make sense.
He wildin'.
Who?
No, I'm talking about Dub. I may have heard wrong. Did Dub say he had to go lock his phone?
Yeah.
Man, I can't be laughing at Dub. You wildin', man.
This happened in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. That same night, Brooklyn played. The Brooklyn Nets played the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Wow.
Also, George Floyd's girlfriend used to teach Daunte Wright.
Wow.
So, I ain't gonna go in my conspiracy bag, but I'm gonna leave it right there.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna leave it right there. So you all listening to the Sip So podcast. The spare and the rod ruin the child. Dub. Nah, we gonna go off with Al G.
Man, you gonna put me on blast since I'm the only one in here that's just learning about this raising children thing. But well, since I can't, put it on my family for as my son at 6 months, let me go back to how I was raised. So sparing the rod, ruin the child. I would say yes, because my mom had no problem with bringing out the rod, like no problem at all. And I think had she not done that, I probably wouldn't be living today, or I might be locked up or out there doing some crazy things that I see every day on the news. So I'm just gonna start with that and leave it right there. I think, yeah, sparing the rod will ruin the child.
Well, obviously, giving the rod, pause. It's not an exact science anyway, because as many people been whooped that's still in prison right now. So that's just not a. That's just don't mean that you're gonna be bad if the rod was spared. Personally, I thought, I think I said this before. I was like, man, I'm gonna be whooping ass and doing this and that with my kids, but no, I don't do all that. Yes, it's times where you do need to give some whoopings, or but I wonder, does that really help?
Well,
And
I
I'm
think,
gonna leave it there. We'll go around and
well, what you said, I think with that, like, I with my boys before all this stuff, but I had a person tell me once they get old and grown, they make their own decisions. So it don't really matter how much whoopings they get. They know right or wrong once they grow up. So most of them choose to do it. I think it's cool. You could spare them, you could whoop them, beat them, but when they get to that 19, 20, they mind go different ways from them. It's all about being cool. So you could do much discipline as you can, but when their kid get grown or get to their teenager stage, it's all a lot of stuff going on and peer pressure. So, you know, it's all
what
different.
what you think about when your kids was younger? You say, when you first was raising them, how you felt about that?
Oh yeah, I whooped them. They got whoopings here and there for doing something real bad, but you know,
Did they get whoopings like you got whoopings when you was growing up?
yeah.
Okay.
I I think regardless if you get a lot of whoopings or you don't get any whoopings at all, you still are subject to get in trouble. You still subject to make a mistake for error. I mean, I think you got to look at it too as defining what do you define rod as? Rod can be verbally talking to your kids, roughly. It could be whooping their ass, and it seemed like that was the cool thing to do. Like everybody, you know what? I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass. That's all you always hear. But you think
Shit wasn't
about
cool
it,
for me, man. Shit.
your ass without any counsel along with it is where I think things can kind of turn. Like you have to explain, especially to kids, you got to
Great
explain
point.
what's the point of you getting this whoop? Why are you getting in trouble? Why am I having to talk to you like this? And if you're not explaining that along with whatever punishment or whatever you're gonna do to them, then I think you're doing more disservice to that kid than anything else. It's easy to rear back and whoop somebody, especially if they smaller than you and they look that's you who they're your parent. That's easy to do. But what is that telling that child? What are they gonna run off to their room, cry about after they cry and think in their head like, man, fuck that
Shit.
nigga. I ain't got time for him. Why
That's
she
why
keep
them
doing this to
kids
me?
be shooting up the house.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I ain't finna do. We gonna make sure you understand what it is that you did wrong. And if you don't understand it, we gonna make sure you understand it regardless. Because important to know that no matter what I say or do in the moment, uh, you still got to go out and live your life, and I can't make all decisions for you. So uh, what I've learned is like when you're in the heat of the moment, you're upset. Don't react then, unless it's just called for. Certain things are called for, certain things aren't. Again, right now it's a lot of teaching. You have to do a lot of teaching, and I think doing too much of giving the rod and sparing the rod, it kind of count. It's like a catch-22. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Hey, Go ahead, T. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, Al.
Now I'm gonna just say real quick. He made a great point on the. First let's determine what sparing the rod means, because you're right. If it's just talking to him, if that's sparing the rod, I agree with you on that, because speaking for myself, my own personal experience, my mom had no problem with giving the rod. I'm talking about whooping my you know what, you know what I mean? But I didn't like it, but I will say this about myself. When she started grounding me and stopped whooping me per se, that's what touched me, man. She would give me a choice sometime. Now I can whoop your ass and you can go back outside. Or you can stay in the house for the rest of the day. Hey man, I'm finna take that ass whooping. Cause I ain't trying to stay in the house. So some kids need that ass whooping. Some of them need to be talked to. Me, if you take my freedom away, that's how you gonna get me. Whooping me really ain't gonna do nothing. It's gonna hurt for that 5 little minutes, even though that 5 minutes seem like 30 minutes sometimes. That little 5-minute whooping, it's gonna hurt. But to get me with your words, the way she looks at me, or if she feel like she's disappointed in me, I want to always see my mom happy. So if I let her down, that's gonna fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Great point. Great point there, man.
Yeah, that's why it's not just an exact science, because you kind of got to know how your child is and the way to go about it. I was working with well, I ain't gonna say old school cat. He was about 55, Spanish guy, and he was like, man, he had three kids. He was like, man, I never whooped my kids. I sit them down and talk to them, and he say, man, I can just talk to them and they get remorseful. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And he said, and I feel that they learn better from that. So it's like, do y'all think whooping the child is just some extended slavery shit?
Me personally, I'm not gonna say extended slavery shit. I'm gonna say generational curse, as we mentioned before. It's one of those things because our great grandmothers, grandmothers, and parents have done. That's the way we were raised. We just keep doing it over and over again.
Maybe slavery is not the best word. Maybe um, that's what Massa did, so that's how we feel we should do our children, because slaves was kind of like children to the master.
That's a
I can
great
agree
point.
with
I
that.
never really thought about it that way, but that's a great point.
I can agree with that, because if you did something out of line or what you weren't supposed to, then what was your consequence? Lashings or sometimes
Right.
death. So I get where you're coming from with that point, and maybe it does have something to do with it. Like Al was talking about. I mean, I think the biggest thing with me is taking my freedom away. I like to move around, roam and stuff, and my mom would, a lot of times she wouldn't whoop me all the time, but man, she would ground me. She would ignore me. She I asked
Right.
stuff, she just kind of shut me out, and so that
Man,
I didn't tell her until I became an adult. I was like, man, that stuff affected me.
it
Because
do.
one, I don't understand that. That's different. If you talking to me or hollering and yelling and you whooping, okay, I get it. You mad. When you sit there and you'll looking me in the face as normal as hell and not say nothing to me and ground me or take my freedom away, that bothered me.
Yeah, we was the same child, man. Like that. For me, that whooping, yeah, it's cool. I don't like it. But when she ignore me, like she get disappointed, she don't want to talk to me, or I can't go a certain place, man, that's how you get me. So I think, and let me ask y'all this, I think sometimes that whooping actually can turn the other way, where it makes the child more rebellious because they are getting whooping. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I think so, because some children might not understand, and I guess maybe too if you don't talk to them afterwards, but they might feel like start getting animosity towards you.
Right.
Hmm. And hey, I can go act a fool over here, man. I just go home, get my little whooping, I'm good.
And do the same shit tomorrow.
Right, right. What you
What
think,
you think about that,
JT?
JT?
I mean, to be honest, man, I really don't know because you're right. You could whoop all these kids, man, and still do the same thing. So it really just some kind of with the kid, I guess. But for me, I got whooping. It taught me a lesson though. So I mean, everybody's different. So that's the way I look at it. You know, you can learn from it or not learn from it. So
Let me ask y'all, what was y'all worst whooping? Dub.
Man, I didn't get a whole lot, but my worst one was probably my grandma. Now she missed. She was mad at me and my cousin, but her cane swung through the air, and just that wind enough was enough to get my mind right. The other ones, I mean, the whooping, I fell and hurt myself harder outside than some whoopings that I've gotten. So I'm not gonna say whooping was the issue, but when I felt that wind from that cane and it was up by my face, that kind of that stuck with me.
Right. She could have hit a home run. Man,
Grandma had a mean swing, boy.
I remember. I don't know exactly what I did. It was something at school, but man, I would have to get 2 whoopings. My mama would whoop me. She gonna cuss and talk, and I can handle that one. But I knew, my daddy would get home by 5:30. Oh Lord, I'm sitting there kind of, how your stomach drop and you like, dang, you looking at that time and my daddy, he about 6'3". Back then, he was probably 3+.
He used to have that paddle in class too, huh?
Yeah. And he told me, come on in the room. Well, he ain't know nothing. He come home, it's all good. My mama, oh yeah. She going in, what I done did. And he say, all right, well, come on back here. And we went in the rooms. He wasn't no running away. Ain't no running around the house and chasing all.
Shit, I did. You got to catch me, nigga.
Nah, wasn't none of that shit. My daddy had a goddamn leather belt. And on that whooping, boy, he broke that belt. And I remember that. I remember that, boy. So
that what broke me up, man. We got 2. You got in trouble. Grandma get us, auntie, uncles, and that what broke me. But the worst one, that switch, man. Woo. Grandma got me with that switch. So.
Hey, Jay, man, you got me. That was my worst one, man. That switch. I didn't have everything. Now, the one thing I haven't heard, that I hear about is the extension cord. I think that's child abuse. That's child abuse.
Well, hey,
I ain't never got hit with no extension cord, man.
I know a dude got here with I know a dude say he got with a pitching string, man. It broke him, and that's what you broke the calf with.
Oh boy,
shit, wet.
Yeah, that I heard about them wet ones, boy. That's child abuse, that though.
Hey, last question on this before we roll on. Did y'all like to get? Okay, which one would you prefer if you had both parents in the house at time? The hard, rough, but it's real quick, or the one that just go long? So make more sense. My dad, most time he could just look at me a certain way and get to talking and tell me what he gonna do to me, and just his voice and the way he talking, that was enough for me. I'm already crying, but he might hit me 2 or 3 times and that's it. But it hurt. My mama, man, that shit seemed like it last 3 days. If she break the,
don't keep going.
I'm talking about, and she talking to me and she hit me. If she break one whip, I got to go get another one. Now we have to go get our own whips.
Damn.
Our own sticks. What you call them?
Well, you should have run away then, man.
Hey, that was the problem, man.
Have y'all heard of the old-fashioned whooping?
Nah.
That's when they put your pants down, man, and your drawers.
I used to get them.
I got that right there, and that shit broke me up.
Yeah, I had to pull down my pants.
What about your underwear?
Yeah, I had to do that.
Some pants.
Yeah, that shit right there hurt, boy. I think I cried for 3 days, man.
I forgot about that. I'm about to get in that game.
Hey, so was y'all? I mean, let me say, did y'all run? Did y'all run, or did y'all sit there and take it like a man?
I took it. We couldn't
No,
run because we ran. It
I
got
ain't
worse.
know. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Man,
couldn't
we had
run.
stairs in our apartment. I ran up and down the stairs. My mom. That's why it took probably 3 days, man. She whooped me from upstairs to downstairs. I would hide under the bed. She would get my brothers come to get me,
Oh
and they had to
boy,
literally grab. Yeah,
Man,
man, I ain't taking no ass whooping, dog.
you doing too much, man.
you making it worse.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
move on, man, because I'm starting to have flashbacks. I'm starting to shake a little bit. Let's move on, man.
Ooh,
That
shit.
boy
Get
say he
some ice,
started to
cuz.
shake.
Put some ice on you.
See, that's why them whooping something else, man. But trauma. You are listening to the Sip So podcast. So, fellas, man, right now, who do you think is the best team in the NBA? I'm gonna go with the Brooklyn Nets. I know that's probably a layup answer, and I know they're not healthy, but I just think it's gonna be hard to beat them if they be healthy. I mean, never this. You know what? Anthony Davis he had an Achilles problem, and then I'm glad the Lakers are letting him sit out long as they have because I was scared it was going to be another Kevin Durant situation if they rushed him back too early.
Great point.
But you, man, with that type of injury, you just don't know what you're going to get from him. You might get he come back good, or he hurt himself. So that's the thing that kind of scared me with the Lakers. But you can never discount LeBron.
You got to look at it, man. With the Lakers, is if it's one thing if AD is not there, it's a whole nother thing if LeBron is not there. So I know exactly what you mean by that injury that he's having. The question is with the Lakers is how healthy is LeBron going to be?
Mm.
'Cause, I mean, I think he's the one that puts everything on his shoulders. Having AD is just a huge help, but I don't remember the last time he's had a serious injury where he's been out the way he is now. At least I don't remember in a while. But if I was to say the team right now, it's between Brooklyn and 76ers, honestly. I still lean 76ers over Brooklyn. I think they down the road, I think they're much better coached. I think they got a lot of talent on that team now that's deep, and I think they've gelled together much more than I think Brooklyn has. And don't get me wrong, my Spurs, we bringing up a strong second though in that best team. But
Wow.
if I was a betting man right now, I'm gonna put my money on. I'd put my money 76ers. I'm going with the 76ers. I like what they got. I like how they play, and they healthy.
Yeah. I say out of Brooklyn and the 76ers too, because they both been playing some good ball. Really and Bean though too.
Boy, been balling.
So
Right now, I mean, I hear y'all lie, but right now, it's got to be the Brooklyn Nets, man. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan, so don't get it twisted, but let's just call it what it is. When you got Kevin Durant, I know everybody now all healthy, I get all that, but Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, just those three. I mean, that's a matchup nightmare to start there. Now, if they learn how to play a little bit, just a little defense, they're gonna be unstoppable. But so the first answer is Brooklyn Nets, but I think my Lakers will pull through. I think LeBron will get back healthy. I think AD will be back. It'll be Brooklyn versus LA, and LA will win 4-3.
Is Kyrie back on his little personal leave shit?
I think he was out this week on a couple
yeah,
of games.
he was out a couple games. He go back and forth though.
Man, what's wrong with that guy?
I
So
don't
the thing,
understand, man.
I think he got a lot of whooping when he was younger.
You might be right.
That may be it, man. Or he didn't get none.
the thing with Brooklyn though, man, you got to look at how many games have they all played together? Like maybe 3.
That's a great
older
point too.
since
You
they
talking about
all
the
been there.
chemistry?
Yeah, and the only thing I wonder about is if it'll come together with all of them in a short period of time. Because I mean, we right around the corner from the playoffs, and I mean, I think the only other first team in the West was probably going to be Denver until what's his name got hurt. But I just don't know if Brooklyn going to put it all together in that short of time frame.
About your thing making staticking.
Oh, my bad. Is that better? Or still doing it?
Still doing it.
Okay.
Nobody mentioned
The Clippers?
the Jazz, the #1 team in the West.
Oh, you didn't see what happened?
I mean, that's one game. I'm just saying.
Don't talk about your boy hurt.
Oh, Mitchell.
Yeah, he hurt.
I'm sure he'll come back.
Yeah,
What,
he'll be back.
ankle or
He'll be
something?
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be
they said
back.
it was negative though.
But I mean, I brought him up just being facetious. I mean, hey, I don't. Them one of them teams. I feel like just good regular season, but I don't see them making.
Yeah, that postseason. Yeah, it's
Right,
kind of like
right.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee good in the season, but playoffs.
Hot garbage.
So who y'all
Right.
got winning it all? Let's go to that question. Who y'all got winning it all right now? Doesn't matter injuries or whatever. Who you got winning it all?
Philly.
I'm gonna say Brooklyn. I'm gonna say
I'm
Brooklyn.
gonna say Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, Philly. I'm gonna go with LA Lakers. Write it down, T.
I got you.
I don't think LA will win it this year, man. They got these injuries hurting them at a wrong time.
Man,
Yeah.
T said it earlier, man. LeBron. That's all. I ain't gonna say no more. I'm gonna say LeBron. I'm gonna leave it at that.
How do y'all feel about Michael Jordan going to induct Kobe into the Hall of Fame?
I think
I hadn't heard
personally,
that.
I think Kobe would have it no other way. I mean, we all know he emulated his game behind this guy. He looked up to this guy. I think that's the best man to give it to him.
I respect that, but I figure it could have. I don't know how close Jordan and Kobe was, but I would think somebody like Shaq that he went to war with that would have who I would have figured.
I say Shaq or the teammates of the Lakers that year they went them years they went 3 back to back. They should have had them to do it. Me personally, I say Shaq. Shaq.
Even Phil Jackson.
Yeah, I was gonna say Phil. Everybody on that roster, but
I agree with what Mo said too. That would make more sense and have a little bit more meaning.
Because you don't know what Jordan gonna get up there and say.
No.
He gonna be like his own Hall of Fame speech.
Right.
Pretty much.
No doubt.
I just think Jordan, because he had so much respect for the man that he emulated his whole game behind the man. Man, the man talked like the man, walked like the man, chew gum like the man, shoot like the man. I mean, what other better man to present it to him?
Like I say, I don't know their relationship.
Now, relationship, I don't know that part. I don't know the relationship.
Jordan got up there at the funeral, and I kind of think he was putting on for the city, but that's just my opinion. And
he was getting an acting award for that.
I don't think him and Kobe was fucking around like that because Kobe wanted to take his spot. Michael Jordan wasn't. He ain't that type of guy. So
nah, Kobe a killer. He ain't trying to stay even. He trying to kill you. He trying to outdo you.
So I mean, I just think, like Mo said, or I said, pretty much same thing. I think that would have been a better look. But
so let's just say if they both was playing in the same era, let's just say the era that Jordan was in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
If the same Kobe that was in, playing what we saw playing in that era when Jordan was in his prime, do you think we would still be having the same conversation about Jordan being the GOAT, or you think it would be Kobe?
Kobe, hands down. We ain't got to talk no further.
Well, in the same era?
Yeah. I just want y'all opinion. That's all.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jordan on that one, man.
Yeah, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, man.
Why you say that?
I think Jordan is just a better player. You know,
It's not stat wise because I know we don't want to go statistical.
hey man, you do your thing. Talk your shit.
Well, Kobe, you know, I know everybody gonna say Jordan. That's the right now. It's the politically correct answer. Everybody's Jordan. Statistical wise, it's not even a comparison. So, but we'll leave it at that. Kobe had a better shot, better mid range, better 3-pointer.
I never hear Kobe brought up as the GOAT.
That's what's so disrespectful. That you're right. No, you're exactly right. That's what's so disrespectful about it. Because he's never brought up as the GOAT. They compare him to LeBron. I'm like, wait, hold up. I like LeBron, but LeBron is not the same player as Jordan. That's compare LeBron to Pippen.
Hey, but you just said a mouthful when you said Kobe got all this stuff for Jordan. So if you take away Jordan, you won't have no Kobe.
I can't argue that.
Tell Flex drop a bomb on it.
Hey, I'm gonna speak if it's real. Hey, if it was no Jordan, there would be no Kobe. Hell, if there wasn't no Jordan, it wouldn't be a lot of players, just to be keeping it real.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everybody got their opinion. Everybody gonna pick Jordan. I'm gonna still ride with Kobe till the wheels roll out.
I know this wasn't on the docket, but I've been seeing where Justin Fields, we switched to NFL draft right quick.
Okay.
Where he's been falling down on the draft board. Why do y'all feel that? Why y'all think that is?
I think it's just a matter of like he's not as highly looked at as the other quarterbacks. And I don't think they have a lot of confidence in him, honestly.
Well, they pumping up Mac Jones from Alabama when
why?
I mean, come on, man.
Why?
Statistics. That's why.
I had my little doubts about Justin Fields, but when I saw him playing against Clemson, what he did in the game against Alabama against big time talent, he showed up, and the dude is a baller. You hate to go the.
No, don't go that way, T. Don't
you
go.
hate to go the racial route.
Don't go there, man.
But when you have a guy from BYU who hasn't played no competition,
no big time game. Nope.
Come on, man.
Mac Jones, who he's playing with 5 stars, Heisman Trophy winner, great O-line,
and the best coach in college history. Come on, man.
Then you got old boy from North Dakota State, Trey Lance, who that's again no competition. I understand Carson Wentz went there, but we see he's kind of flaming out. So
overrated.
I just think that Justin Fields is getting a bad shake, or it could be where they just trying to run games so somebody can actually pick him that they didn't think was going to pick him. But I hope he do fall to the number 9 pick and come on to the Mile High City.
I like how you did that, T, because I was going there too, but I'm not going to play the race card, man. Huh?
What black quarterback has Denver ever had?
I can't at least starting, I can't call none, but I mean, I don't see how you can pass up on him if he's there. Shit, we need to trade up for him, to be honest with you.
Hey, but it's kind of like this, T. The reason that he's falling is publicity, man. That Mel Kiper and that I forgot the other cat name, but it doesn't matter. They all about the hype, man. You pick Alabama because it's Alabama, so that's why that quarterback is big. The rest of them is just BYU. They comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. Man, stop it, dog. Are y'all serious?
Right.
So that sucks.
To me, the dude that you talking about right now is the number 1. That's in my opinion. And he gonna show that. Coming from Ohio State, the dude is a dog. He had one bad game, and they keep throwing that up. When he played against Indiana, he threw 3 interceptions, I think, in the first half. So what? He's learned from it. He's a dog, and he will be the number one, not the number one draft pick, but when it's all said and done, he's going to be the better quarterback in his class. Mark my word.
I'd even
Oh
question
no, that
though,
Trevor Lawrence a dog, man.
I think he's
but
overrated too.
Trevor
that's what I was
Lawrence a
gonna say. But,
dog. I think he was in a bad system. But go
Trevor
ahead,
Lawrence,
Doug.
you say Trevor Lawrence may have been in a bad system?
Yeah, for what they was trying to do. Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's fair. I just think he had some of the same benefits that Mac Jones had. You know, with the O line, you got the best talent out of receivers.
Best
You had a
receivers.
stud running back. I'm just saying, just kind of in general. Now, I'm not discrediting his year last year. You know, he balled. But then I look at that Ohio State game this past year, man, and
Man,
he laid an egg. And this is the time when you go ahead and put everything on your shoulders in a big time game like that, especially holding the potential first round pick. You have to show up a little more than what you did, and they made him. I mean, that was a dismantling. That game was, and I think, but that was also the game that elevated Justin Fields because I've not seen many games like that where somebody played that lights out, hurt, and then turn around 2 weeks later and still, even though they lost, he did not play a bad game.
hey, I don't know if
So
y'all seen, but they got him slated to go number 10 with the New England Patriots trading up at the 10th position to get
I wasn't
Justin
gonna say
Fields.
nothing. I wasn't
I
gonna
don't know
say
if y'all
nothing. I was
heard
just gonna
that.
let it happen.
No, I didn't hear that, but that would be a
Yes,
nice
sir. Yes,
that'd
sir.
be a nice look.
I was
That'd
just
be a
gonna let it
nice
happen.
look. Yeah. Well, fellas, man, we done came to that time again. JT, man, what did you learn today?
I let my homeboy say when he get whoopings, he run around the whole house, man.
Yeah.
It took 3 days, man. Taking 3 days to get one.
You kind of took my thunder, man. I'm gonna go with one lie can kill 1,000 truths.
Man, that was
That was
deep.
heavy, yeah.
Hey, let me see here. What I would say is that it's time for us to kind of move past what's happening to us as Black people and do our best all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
What I learned kind of on that same note, we can't give these cops more of a reason to kill us.
Yeah, essentially.
There you go.
Yep.
Pretty much. Man, another great show. Great to be back with the fellas again, the whole crew here. We know Al was out last week.
What do you have,
Man,
hangover?
Nah,
We
Work.
thought you were still recovering from Gringo.
man,
nah, that was a good night, but nah, I had to work. That's all.
allegedly.
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Right. Man, as always, man, check us out on YouTube, Facebook. I just got a notification that I know we've been on Apple Podcasts, but now I actually have a link. So check us out on Apple Podcasts if you got the iPhone. Plug us in. Thank everybody that's been listening, and if you just I know somebody said that they just heard about us earlier in the week, so just check us out. We just trying to keep growing. Feel free to always reach out to us at sipslowpodcast@gmail.com or on any other social media platforms that we are on. And once again, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with us, and we appreciate it. And as always, man, we're gonna sip slow and we're gonna live fast.